Hey guys, the Assassin's Creed collab will be coming in 15 days, and I think this coming Saturday or Friday, there will be a reveal on what the Assassin's Creed collab is about. So I can wait for that, but I kind of want to do this video where probably it will not come through, it will not be accurate, so just take this as a fun video that I'm sharing. So here I want to talk about what I am expecting from the characters that we will be getting in this patch. So let us start off with Ezio. And unfortunately, for Ezio, I cannot find some specific name for his skill. So I look for combat strategy for Assassin's Creed 2. And what I found most is that his gameplay is more of like defense counter. Okay, he defends and then you counter and then you kill the enemy, instantly kill them. So his gameplay is more of that. And I really are more inclined to say that his kit will revolve around counter. Okay, which makes this second ability, disarm, a bit counterintuitive to what he was doing. Because in reverse, disarm basically stops the enemy from attacking, which kind of implies the same here, where you remove the enemy's weapon, leaving them defenseless so they cannot attack you anymore. And then after that, you attack and kill the enemy. But if he is doing counter in reverse, he needs the enemy to attack the party. If the enemy does not, then he won't do a counter. And if he doesn't do a counter, then that is pointless. So if you disarm the enemy, then it is pointless. So I'm thinking perhaps this can be a form of negative status, which is somewhat related to the Apple of Eden, because the Apple of Eden has some form of mind control, which is like a crowd control. Disarm is also a crowd control, but yeah, not to the point that the enemy doesn't attack, but cripple them to an extent that they really deal very low damage if they are disarmed, right? So in that case, the enemy will still attack him and he will still counter. So offense and insta-kill combo, which is, not anything specific, so I can't really grab anything out of this. Alright, and for the Apple of Eden, as I mentioned, it has mind control, but so this is a bit counterintuitive. Then the other one here is illusion generation. In the game, it says that the illusion doesn't do damage, so it's practically just there. So I don't think this will be relevant to us in reverse 999. Like, he create a illusion, and then the enemy is just attacking the illusion, so it's like a decoy. And then you add another character there. I'm not sure. But if it does, like he create another character, illusion, so now instead of 4 you have 5 members of the party, and the enemy is always targeting that 5th member, which is the illusion, then that is actually pretty interesting, right? It doesn't attack our team, so there's a form of protection. And we might see. And if the illusion is there, so now instead of 4 we have 5. So usually if you have more character, your AP is +1. So which means this can be a form of AP +1 as well, right? Instead of actually having the buff for AP +1, this one is directly altering our party setup, giving AP +1 due to the additional character. Since Ezio doesn't have like specific signature attacks or skills, so I start looking at Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So I noticed that there's actually 3 classes in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is Hunter, Warrior, and Assassin. Kassandra will definitely be Hunter, and Alexios will definitely be Warrior. So this leaves Assassin for Ezio, which he is the only one out of the 3 characters that really represent, Assassin. So I start looking into the kit. There is something about this extra adrenaline segment. So all the assassin, all 3 character might have a kit or a mechanic that revolve around adrenaline segment, because in the game Odyssey, you are getting this adrenaline segment. Then when you have a lot of it, then you can use certain skills, or the certain skill that you do deal more damage. I'm not exactly sure, I didn't play Assassin's Creed Odyssey before, but it does have that form of mechanic where you gain it and then you use it. Then here we have mostly it's like stealth attacks. So again, if there's stealth attack, it's going to be like penetration rate plus certain percent, or it does genesis damage. So overall here, yeah. So if it's assassin, it's gonna be related to poison, because that is the main gimmick of this build, this skill tree that is for the assassin. So apply poison when the power meter is full, then you get intoxicated. So I don't think they will add another skill like intoxicated. Perhaps there will be something related to fire sprout, which is the new mechanic for the plant team. Here we also have venom, poison buildup. Okay, more damage. Okay, yeah, so pretty much there's additional stuff here for the assassin that is related to poison. And overall, again, this is for fun. I don't think it will be exactly what it is. Obviously, it will not be exactly what it is. But if I can get 10% of this correct, there is something, what I write here is related to what his kit will be, I will be very happy. So because of the assassin skill that from Odyssey is like related to poison, so I think Ezio might be the plant unit, and the Apple of Eden will be his insight, where it's very much related to negative status, right? Inflicting negative status that prevents the enemy from dealing a lot of damage to us. And he will have a mechanic where he can gain adrenaline segment, and then he can use it to deal maybe more penetration damage and things like that. For his ultimate, Leap of Faith is the signature of Assassin's Creed. So I think definitely one of the skill will be related to Leap of Faith. So here I'm putting it as out. So it's a party. The party will gain evasion, but every time somebody loses evasion, then Ezio will do a counter attack using his hidden blade, and this counter attack will maybe also inflict poison, right? And yeah, so this makes him a counter character that every time you lose that stacks, then you counter. And if one party, which means if you use the alt, 4 units will gain dodge, and if all 4 dispel, so he will at least do 4 attacks after using his ultimate. As for skill 1, again, if you have very low adrenaline, you maybe gain it. If you have very high, you will consume it, and then you will do very strong attack due to having high penetration. And a part of that, it inflict poison. Or it can be in a way that every time as you're attacking an enemy, if the enemy has a lot of poison, he does more damage. This does synergize well with the Euphoria character after this AC collab patch, which is in 2.8, and that is Jessica. I always find Jessica to be in a very odd position. Why was she getting her Euphoria, and in the end, there is not much content that actually requires it. Reverie 400 to 450, you don't use poison. So I'm not sure exactly why, but it seems like if Ezio will be related to poison, then that will make sense to put him in Jessica's team. Alright? And one more thing here, I think his skill 2 will be a buff that will put himself and a ally he target to gain evasion. And again, if every time this evasion disappears, being consumed, then he will do a follow-up attack. Yeah, so that's what I think Ezio kit will be like. But as far as I know that all the recent units that we get, they all somewhat has quite a complex mechanics that you have to rotate through. So the one I listed here is quite simple. I do not want to write a whole essay on how the character kit is. I will leave that back to Blue Park. But yeah, roughly this is what I'm predicting. As for Kassandra, Kassandra's artifact will be the Spear of Leonidas. Okay, and again, it will not be her skill. I think it will be kind of like her insight. And she has the eagle with her. As from the picture, the promotion picture, she has the eagle. So she definitely will have an ability related to Eye of Icaros. And I'm thinking here, if like Eye of Icaros is always helping to do additional damage, maybe this can come in the form of a follow-up attack. Like you summon Icaros, and after you do an attack, Icaros will do another attack, right? Yeah, so I think her kit, Kassandra, will definitely be the hunter kit. So it's very much related to bow and arrow, but she does have the spear, but the spear is more of like it enhances the attack. And here, if I look at this, she has some ability like this Arrow Master, which has explosive arrow, and that we can relate it to burn. But she also has poison. So I'm not sure, maybe she will be a plant character like, and then Lee also inflict burn and poison. And then like, Noir, maybe she will fit into that team. Or she will be in a beast team directly going into burn and explosion. Okay, and then if we see more, multi-shot is just attacking more enemies. Rain of Destruction, rain down a burst of arrow in 3-meter radius, so you'll be like AoE, and enemies inside the area are stunned, right? So she has some crowd control. Maybe. Okay, so this is definitely possible to be in the game. Devastating Shot, your arrow becomes deeply trapped that detonates and deals 250. So this can also be a form of follow-up attack. Like after you attack, you set a trap. At the end of the round, it explodes. So the enemy receives additional attack. And burn. Yeah, because it's a bomb, right? Rapid Fire. So just more attack probably. I don't think that will enter the game. Archery Master, nah. Overpower Bow Strike. Again, here if you see, it's related to explosion. So when you hit the enemy, it explodes on impact. And here there's one more thing that it says uses 3 adrenaline segments. So I think the whole Assassin's Creed, all of them, will have this buff, which is the adrenaline segment, and they somehow will be able to get it maybe through more attack or a fixed amount every round or something, and their skill can be enhanced if we have more adrenaline segments. So I think this will be quite a prominent feature in all 3 of the Assassin's Creed character. And here also we have Ghost Arrow of Artemis, which shoot arrow that can travel through shield. So if reverse, this will be penetration. Okay, so overall I think Kassandra will have like Spear of Leonidas as insight, Eye of Icaros maybe as ultimate, like after you use it then you buff yourself and Icaros will do follow-up attacks, and then 2 of all this arrow attack, maybe those that related to explosion if she's gonna be a burn character, or those that related to poison if she's a plant character. So it depends, but I think she will definitely be either plant or beast that is related to burn as well, because this does have good synergy with the warrior build, and the warrior build will undoubtedly be Alexios. So what is a specialty actually? This warrior is kind of like a healer in Assassin's Creed, because if you play the game, or at least I've been seeing other people play, usually they will go for the second win, because it's the only healing ability that the entire skill tree has. So it is very useful. Okay, and it can remove the effect of fire and poison. So another way it can have cleanse. So Alexios may be a form of a sustain unit. And also, I didn't show it here, but when I was looking at the Sword of Damocles, it did mention that that weapon has leech rate. So maybe with the insight that is being Sword of Damocles, he can extend the leech rate to the entire party. So everyone can refill their HP. Yeah. And for himself, the second wind can heal the entire party while cleanse. So for his ultimate and attack, I'm so thinking that this can be a part of his kit, which is Battle Cry of Ares, Battle Cry of Ares. Summon the full power of Leonidas' Unbroken Spear, and for 10 seconds, all attack deal 35% assassin damage. All enemy attacks are non-lethal. So I think this is the important part. The enemy will not be able to kill us. It will drain our HP, but it will not kill us as long as we have this Battle Cry. And I think this will be the ultimate, right? Putting the entire party in a status that they can't die. So yes, I do think this will be a beast sustain unit. Okay, and one more perhaps is attack. I'm not sure, but the warrior kit does have fire, not so much on poison, mainly on fire, which does synergize, if Kassandra has like burn and explosion. So warrior can do the same, spear and explosion as well. So overall for Kassandra, similar to Ezio, the insight will be related to the Weapon of Eden, which is the Spear of Leonidas, which actually the description of that spear, it actually enhances her attack. And based on all the explosion arrows that she can inflict, I'm gonna think that she might be a burn character as well. But she will have a mechanic where she used the adrenaline segment and can convert the burn into explosion. So what I meant by explosion is that every time you attack an enemy with explosion, the explosion will explode. Okay, and I think that it might be like a stack base. So if you can stack more explosion, and when you attack the enemy, then the explosion will do more damage. Okay, so I think she might have some form of mechanic like that. And for her ultimate, here I'm assuming is her eagle, the Eye of Icaros. So this might be interchangeable with the insight. So the insight might be Eye of Icaros and her ult might be Spear of Leonidas. Depends. But here I'm thinking if Eye of Icaros, you will summon Icaros and you attack an enemy. So it's just one enemy. Every time the enemy receives an attack, Icaros will do a follow-up attack. So if you use more character follow-up attack, then Icaros will do even more. So I think that her gameplay will be related to follow-up attack as well as burn and explosion stacks. Okay, skill 1, Devastating Shot, which will further convert burn to explosion and also help us to quickly stack up that explosion stacks. Then skill 2, Overpower Bow Strike, so you attack the enemy and the explosion will trigger again. So it's like additional trigger. So this is what I think Kassandra kit might be like. Of course, the details I will leave it to Bluepark, but yeah, Eye of Icaros definitely will be there, and then Spear of Leonidas, and with all the explosion, perhaps she will be in the burn and explosion team. Now for Alexios, his insight will be Sword of Damocles, and I was reading Sword of Damocles from somewhere. Other than just giving a lot of stats, it did mention that it has leech rate. So maybe this leech rate now is not to himself, but with the sword, he can grant leech rate to the entire party. And I felt like his gameplay may be related to HP reduction, because the leech rate can help him to gain back some HP. But not a blood tie team. So probably, blood type is already pretty saturated. So let's say if other character like Jay that also repost, he does want to maintain his HP lower. So I think Alexios might fit into that. Okay, and for his mechanic, again, adrenaline segment, which is all the Assassin's Creed character has this form of buff, I assume. And like Kassandra, she can convert burn into explosion. And for his ultimate, I'm thinking Battle Cry of Ares will be suitable where the party gain buff that makes every enemy's attack non-lethal. So it will still deplete our HP, but it won't kill us. So I think this is a very big part of Alexios, or the warrior kit in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Okay, yeah. So to me, Alexios will be the sustain for that team, as in Kassandra, Ezio. So he will be a sustain. All right, and after you use the ultimate, burn stack doesn't goes down, so he will allow the party to be able to quickly convert all the burn into explosions, so they can do even more damage. So this will have direct synergy with Kassandra. So I think at least these two Odyssey characters should have relation, and form a team of their own. While they definitely can work in other team, and for Ezio, it might be a new team entirely, or he just fit into one of the existing team. I do not think they will create a new team that involves all three of these characters, because definitely not everyone will be able to pull all of these characters. So which means the player will likely need to choose who to pull for. So maybe we will get maybe like Kassandra for free, and we need to pull for Alexios or Ezio. But anyway, I think that he will have a direct synergy with Kassandra, which is why I think Kassandra might have a similar mechanic where he can convert the typical burn stacks into explosion. Alright, and skill 1, Fury of the Bloodline, which further convert more burn to explosion. And skill 2, Second Wind, is a healing skill and cleanse, because this is one of the most important skill in Assassin's Creed, and definitely I think it will be featured in this collab. Anyway, do let me know your opinion. Most of you have already dropped your opinion when I posted the community thread. So, yep, especially those who are pulling or planning to pull for the AC collab units. Good luck. Right, for those who are still undecided, you can type it in comment section below. Definitely more people will give you advice, but I think first of all, you should really plan, allocate resource to pull for all these units. That's because in terms of marketing, they want them to sell, and the only way that they can sell if you tie them into a certain part of the mechanics that already exist in the game, not to entirely create a new one, and you only limited only certain people to join that group. So I don't think that will be the case. Okay. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Yeah, very excited with AC collab. Very eager to watch the live stream and know more about it. So whatever I show you here, this is my prediction. So yeah, please note on that.